The White House colluded with Jack Smith, the Biden White House, meeting with the special counsel's office, not appropriate in any way, shape, or form because Biden is prosecuting Trump, which is what the special counsel is supposed to be inquiring about. So they should not be connecting in any way, shape, or form, but they did. We know these two people, according to visitor logs, Caroline Saba and this guy, Jay Bratt, not supposed to be hanging out. She's the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for the counsel's office. He works for Jack Smith. These two people met, and maybe they fell in love. We don't know. But here's the story. The visitors logs tell us that they met before the Trump indictment ever came down. Jay Bratt, who joined Jack Smith's team in November 2022, shortly after it was formed, after they started the investigation, took a meeting with the White House, March 31st, 2023, with Caroline Saba, Deputy Chief of Staff for the White House Counsel's Office. This all came out thanks to visitor logs. We know that they were joined at 10 a.m. in the morning by Danielle Ray, an FBI agent from the Washington field office. 9 weeks later, after these little lovebirds all met to plan their plot against Trump, Trump was indicted by Jack Smith on June 8th, 2023. Bratt, the prosecutor, 63 years old, also met with Saba at the White House back in November 2021. So they're meeting repeatedly about this. And there's supposed to be a big separation here. Joe Biden said that he didn't get involved at all with what Jack Smith was doing because Merrick Garland was handling it and he doesn't talk to them. We all know that that myth has been shattered because of what the DOJ did with Hunter Biden. They say here, Trump was mired in negotiations. They were meeting. The prosecutors going after Trump were meeting with the White House to basically, I would imagine, advise them on how to tell Trump what to do with the National Archives, and they indicted him. Saba, who's not an attorney, left the White House in May to attend law school. So she's not around anymore. After whatever happened, she decides to abandon ship. Bratt had a third meeting in the White House in September 2021, and he also met with Catherine Riley, another advisor to the White House Chief of Staff's office. Okay, that is Joe Biden directly. The logs offer no information about what was discussed at the meeting. Oh, of course not. Critics and legal experts question why Bratt was taking the meeting with the White House counsel at all, because he's going investigating his Republican opponent. Rudy raged about this, says there's no legitimate reason for this at all. Counsel for the special counsel's office, Peter Carr, said Bratt was there for a case-related interview. No further comment. White House, no further comment. FBI declined to comment. A person with knowledge said that this was an interview of a career official who is also working at the White House during the Trump administration. So it's a total scam, okay? These people have been colluding to get this done for years, and they dropped it right at the appropriate time, right in the middle of a campaign season, because they are trying to win, trying to scam all of America into buying their story. And there are a lot of scammers out there, including robocallers. My friends, this is my cell phone and the list of all the blocked numbers from spam and robocalls, even text messages with obviously fake password requests and phishing links. I was getting 10 to 20 robocalls or spam messages on my cell phone every day. Sure, you can relate. The robocallers are everywhere, and some can be pretty convincing too, almost even look legitimate. But how are they pulling this off? Well, I learned that there are data brokers out there that assemble your name, your address, your phone number, anything they can find out about you from all the times we click yes or I agree, install this, install that. They just take it, aggregate it, package it up, sell it, put it on the internet, make a nice profit. That's why Aura, the sponsor of this video, is so important. Aura provides you with a service that protects all your information with the power of multiple apps and services. And they even help manage the process of removing your data from those exact data brokers we talked about for you. It's also a vault for your passwords. It's a credit monitoring service, antivirus protection. It has identity theft insurance and so much more. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on other business that you need to attend to with peace of mind. Go to aura.com/Robert Gouveia to start your free 2-week trial. The link is down in the description below. You can start protecting your online life today going to aura.com/Robert Gouveia. Start today. Robocallers, don't you hate them? All right. But the Democrats continue because we know that the DOJ didn't stop just with the Jack Smith investigation, but they also intervened on behalf of David Weiss. And we remember David Weiss as the prosecutor who corrupted the Hunter Biden plea deal. Well, the Federalist, they came out with new emails and a new report, an exclusive, saying that David Weiss, the Hunter Biden prosecutor, colluded literally with the DOJ to thwart congressional congressional inquiries. After the whistleblowers came out and started speaking about what they saw within the DOJ, all of the corruption, they blew the whistle. Congress demanded answers from David Weiss, and once again, Merrick Garland and the White House intervened. They coordinated the special counsel's investigation. They're stepping in to interfere with the Hunter Biden investigation. Emails reveal the following. Margot Cleveland reporting says emails obtained by the Heritage Foundation through a FOIA request established conclusively that on multiple occasions the DOJ intervened on behalf of David Weiss. The revelation raises more questions about a prior letter. David Weiss, as we recall, sent a letter back to Jim Jordan and he said, I've got total authority. I can do whatever I want and I'm not going to answer your questions, but I can file charges wherever I need to file charges. This was the letter that he sent. Now there's questions. Did he actually type this letter up or did somebody else draft this puppy for him? He said in the letter that he had ultimate authority over the charging decisions, but we know that's not true because now he's got special counsel status. And the whistleblowers told us that he was the person who asked for information or permission to bring charges in DC and California, but was denied. So why would he need special counsel status to get permission for something that he already had authority to do? Questions are, did the DOJ's Office of Legislative Affairs respond to them? Weiss posed that question to one of his lead attorneys. The following month, Grassley and Johnson, who are two senators who've been on top of the Hunter Biden investigation for a long time, they sent another letter to David Weiss, as well as Attorney General Merrick Garland. The Office of Legal Counsel again intervened, telling Weiss's office in an email that was reviewed by the Federalist that the Office of Legal Counsel would take the lead on drafting a response. Why wouldn't David Weiss take the lead? The never-before-seen emails established that the DOJ and the U.S. Attorney collaborated in responding to congressional inquiries and were among the first batch of documents provided to the Heritage Foundation that they got. They sued. The court ordered the DOJ to produce documents, all records collected from Weiss and Assistant U.S. Attorney Leslie Wolf. That's going to be good. I hope they drop some more documents. Mike Howell, the director of the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project, initiated the FOIA request. They filed a lawsuit, and they're running communications from Weiss through the Justice Department. David Weiss had no control over anything. The emails also call into question the veracity of exchanges between Weiss and Jordan. He's not even responding to congressional letters. Even though the House committee addressed the letter to Garland, Weiss responded to the letter. Two more letters would soon follow, and we've read through almost every one of these here. Weiss responded in the June 30th letter. He says, I'm not at liberty to discuss these things. He sidestepped the questions. So, very interesting update. So, apparently, the Office of Legal Counsel is interfering and usurping the chain of communication between Congress and David Weiss. And so, the DOJ is about as corrupt as you could possibly imagine. Not only are they being orchestrated by the White House to prosecute their political opponents in Donald Trump, but they're also using the DOJ to protect their favorite defendants, which, of course, as we know, is Hunter Biden and many other Democrats. But what are the Republicans going to do about it, if anything? McCarthy apparently is considering a plot to impeach Biden. When the Democrats impeach Trump, it's to preserve America. But when the Democrats are getting impeached, McCarthy is plotting. See how that works? So he's talking about it, and there's this breakdown in the Republican Party, whether we should impeach now or impeach later. And Kev is getting it from both ends, and here's what they tell us. He says that McCarthy and top Republicans have begun to strategize about how to move forward with an impeachment inquiry this fall. The latest sign, the GOP is laying the groundwork for serious considerations. In recent weeks, McCarthy has privately told Republicans he plans to pursue an impeachment inquiry into Biden, hopes the process to start by the end of September, according to multiple sources. While McCarthy has already publicly threatened to launch an inquiry if allegations from whistleblowers hold up, sources say that McCarthy has sent even stronger signals about his intentions behind closed doors. Leadership recognizes the entire Republican conference is not yet sold on the idea. Still lingering questions. Republicans currently do not have the 218 votes yet needed to open the inquiry. They don't want to skip the vote in order to do it. Matt Gaetz says, I don't think that we need a vote. I don't think we have to do it in order to open up an inquiry. But we're talking about timelines, and they're saying government funding also expires at the end of September. Oh, we're out of money again? Officially, moving ahead with an impeachment inquiry could keep angry conservatives off McCarthy's back. We'll see what he does about it. We do know that the votes seem like they're just not quite there. Marjorie Taylor Greene explains.
Well, you know, I introduced articles of impeachment on Joe Biden's first day in office. So it's not me. I'm not the holdup. It takes 218 Republicans in Congress to pass any bill. To pass anything in Congress, you have to have 218 218 votes. We only have 222 Republicans in Congress, and unfortunately, we don't have enough strong Republicans. But I'm hoping to see them get there on this, because Joe Biden is now, it is proven that he lied to the American people. He lied to the American people about his business deals with his son. We had Devin Archer, Hunter Biden's former business partner, come in and say Joe Biden was on the phone with them over 20 times, met with business partners in person. We also have an FD 1023 form that came from the FBI's top informant. The FBI paid this guy $200,000 for this information. The information that the informant brought said that Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe while he was vice president of the United States. He took that bribe in order to get the prosecutor from Ukraine, Viktor Shokin, fired. And guess what? Joe Biden is on video himself admitting that he was going to hold $1 billion in U.S. aid, all in order to get that prosecutor fired. And then he bragged about it, and he did get fired. So these are the crimes the American people deserve to know about, because no president, no politician in Washington should be able to enrich themselves on the American taxpayers' backs, abusing their power and making policy decisions and getting paid for it. That's what the Biden family did. That's what Joe Biden has done while he is persecuting President Trump. And that's what we have to do. There's no way that Republicans can go forward in Washington without passing an impeachment inquiry.
We'll see if they do it. I think that she's right that there is mountains and mountains of evidence. Byron Donald says that they are now obstructing justice. The same people who are charging Trump with obstruction are doing a lot of obstruction themselves.
Look, it's not just about the fact that Joe Biden is corrupt and Crooked Joe is corrupt.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's also inept. He's been a disastrous president. Pick any issue you want. He's been a failure, except for one thing, and that is moving the agenda of the radical left, Bernie Sanders agenda. That's the only thing he's been good at. Everything else has been a disaster for our country. Couple that with the fact that you do have Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice obstructing justice. That is exactly what they've been doing by shielding Hunter Biden and Joe Biden from any investigations whatsoever, and at the same time turning all the power and the resources of the federal government pointed at Donald Trump and pointed at other people in the Trump orbit. I mean, you can go back as far as Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, General Michael Flynn. This has been a consistent effort from the radicals in our government. And this is about the American people doing their job, changing this government so we can get a country of, by, and for the people back that actually follows the rule of law.
All right, Byron Donald and others in the House still doing what they can to expose what they know, rally support, hopefully convince other Republicans in Congress that something needs to be done. It's about time. It's kind of amazing that there's not even Democrats now who are screaming from the rooftops saying enough of this corruption. But we know that it's now a political blood sport. And so even though the White House is colluding on both ends to protect themselves against prosecution and to persecute their political opponents, they'll just keep marching on. We'll see if the Republicans do anything about it.